Assalamu alaikum, everybody. First of all, until this evening, rather till 5 minutes back, I knew Manisha was a kind soul. One fine evening, she met me at the World Book Fair and prevailed upon me to push this project through as soon as I could. And if this book is with me in my hand today, and it is with many of you by now, I think the entire credit goes to Manisha and the SAGE team. But today, she has proved she's also generous. But the thing is, when you are generous, you are also likely to err, as Manisha has just erred while introducing me. I've been associated with the Hindu for 18 long years, and the first person whom I met in the Hindu and the person who is here today, that's Dr. Nirmala Lakshman. And she's been kind enough to come for the launch today. She was in London and she specifically cut short her visit to be here with us. I'm grateful. And the person who changed the way I thought of Islam. Like many kids in the city, I had been brought up with certain notions of Islam that you got to pray 5 times a day and you got to fast in the month of Ramzan and you got to give zakat, blah, blah, blah. It never went too far long. Then one fine day, I met Dr. Aslam Parvez, and through his simple words and even more simple demeanor, he opened a new world of Islam to me, wherein I could identify with the specific verses of the Quran. And today I am grateful that he has come all the way from Hyderabad for our discussion today, for our launch today. Thanks a lot, Dr. Aslam Parvez, today. Before I go on to anything else, I think I need to be more than just grateful to Dr. Hamid Ansari. The reason is I had met Dr. Hamid Ansari fleetingly in New Delhi Jama Masjid. He would often come there to offer prayers, particularly in Ramzan when the Quran Sharif would be completed, or in Eid or any other special occasions. But on all those occasions, I remembered him, he never remembered me. Understandably so, because there were about 1,000 people, and he was one vice president of India. But one fine day, when I spoke to him, and he readily agreed to release this book today, and I went to meet him. It was a very brief meeting, maybe for 20 minutes or so. But in those 20 minutes, I realized that I've got another reason to be grateful to Allah, because he agreed to release this book without really thinking for too long, and he was kind enough to host me and also kind enough to write some good words to Sage about it. Thanks a lot, sir. And obviously, this book would not have been possible but for this gentleman, Mr. Vivek Mehra. Again, courtesy my legendary ignorance, I had never met him earlier. But God gives you a chance to dispel your ignorance. So today I got a chance to meet him, and I hope I get many chances to meet him from here on. And I'm grateful to each of the panelists over here, starting with the extreme right, Dr. Apurva Anand, who was generous enough to come for our previous launch also. And with him is Professor Sajjad of AMU. I often pick his brains. In fact, as I do with Professor Aditya Mukherjee of JNU for some of the writers which I do for Frontline. Many of the readers say, "Wah Zia kya likha, maza aa gaya padh ke," after they read Frontline. The fact is, I'm only using my pen. The brains are of Dr. Mukherjee or of Dr. Sajjad. Thankful to both of you. And with us is Mr. Mani Shankar Iyer. I guess it is something like a dream come true for me. Not because he's a politician, but because I read his column very diligently, very religiously on ndtv.com. And there has never been one occasion when I have not come back wiser for reading the column. It's a great honor to be on the same panel with Dr. Mani Shankar Iyer today for me. And obviously this good, not old, good young friend, Maria Shakil. She's generous to a fault. And she's hyper busy. She has a show in the evening, but she has been kind enough to make some allocation for our discussion today, though I guess she might have to leave early due to her commitments. But what has been shining through all through my brief interaction with Maria is her commitment to the right word, to say the right things irrespective of the consequences. And I guess that is something which all of you who watch her show would have realized as well. It is not often that she would endear herself to friends, but then she says the things as they ought to be. Before I conclude, just two very small things. Please indulge me a little bit here. One is Dr. Asaf Saeed Asfi, who happens to be my father-in-law. But he was kind enough, he was really ailing and he was almost on his bed, but he was kind enough to read the first half of this book. And I've dedicated this book to him, not because he read that first half, but for the last 18 years, he has been helping me to hone my understanding of Indian politics and also understanding of Islam. Grateful. Finally, each one of you who has come here, I think I need to say thanks to everybody, not because you are here, but because life gives all of us so many options. There are so many things at any particular time which are happening. So to make this function a priority today, I think I can't thank you enough. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all enjoy the discussion today and go back wiser for it. Thank you.